Hello everybody! Today for Sunday Funday, we're going to see how I draw a cat burglar. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so you've seen the picture. You've seen what I ended up doing. I mean, obviously that's why you're here. You clicked on it, right? You know what's happening. So yeah, I just thought like some kind of burglar, and you know, a little cattish, kind of like what they did with the Dark Knight. Yeah, is it just the Dark Knight? The one where they made, okay, so the Batman movies where they're trying to make them realistic. You know, that's kind of the whole idea, is, you know, making a burglar that is cat-like, but not really. Okay, so you get it, right? You get it. It's supposed to look like it's someone who's set up to be a thief and burglar and whatnot, and the whole play on the words, cat burglar and everything. And they just happen to look like a cat. That's kind of the fun part about it, you know? So it's kind of like they weren't intentionally trying to look like a cat, but they ended up looking like a cat. So, you know, it's me. It's my style. What I like to do is I like to play around with making it real looking, you know? And so in doing so, I was trying to come up with, you know, what could I do to exactly what I just said, make it look like a cat, you know? So I thought of different things, like, well, there are like weapons. Yeah, exactly, that's what they are. They're weapons that look like claws and things like that, but then it's claws. It's all it really is, you know? Like what I'm talking about are like now bear with me, I'm just going to talk about the silly things that I used to see when I was a kid, and they're probably still available. But me and my brother, we would go to the Trader's Village. You know, these old, you know, little bazaar markets, and bizarre, not weird bizarre, but like a seller's market type kind of thing. And they would sell Chinese stars and all kinds of cool stuff, and these magazines that's got all this stuff in it. You can order. Again, I apologize my ignorance, but you could order all of these ninja weapons. That's basically the way I'm going to put it. They were ninja weapons, and it was, you know, Americans being fascinated with it, and it's a whole culture of we don't get it, but it's fascinating, so we're interested. So these magazines would sell these ninja weapons and things like that, and they had these claws. They're these cuffs that you put on your hand like this, and it's a band that goes around like this. It's metal, and right here are these little spikes like that, so you could like grab onto like a tree and climb up it, you know, that kind of thing. Now, I say weapons because who's gonna climb a tree like that? You know what I mean? I live in the suburbs. I grew up in neighborhoods that were concrete, and you know what I mean? It's like there's no tree climbing, stuff like that, you know, but we were fascinated. You know, it was cool weapons, things we didn't have available to us, and it was fascinating, I'm not gonna lie. So that's what I'm talking about. Little things like this is like, well, should I draw stuff like that? Should I give them the claws, you know? But then at that point, it's no longer gonna look like a thief trying to steal stuff. It's gonna look like a man with claws. It's all it's gonna look like. So that's the trick. That's where I was trying to come up with, well, what can I do to make them look like a burglar? And then I realized, like, just don't worry about it. Just don't get too complicated, and just have fun with it, because I was overthinking it. And it's like, you know what? No one's going to make this into you call it, a video game or anything like that. It doesn't have to be exact. So I thought, well, what if it's got like attachments and whatnot, and he's got a mask and a breather and all that kind of stuff, and some of that stuff happens to look like cat ears. So there you go. That's where that's coming from. So, you know, there's the old saying is, if you have to explain the joke, it's not working. So that's kind of where I'm going also with some of this stuff, is I'm explaining it to you because we're here, and you know, if you're here paying attention, nobody usually is, but if you are, I'm going to give you a little explanation of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it like this. And that's it. That's really it. So, you know, it's not so much that if I'm having to explain that it's not working, it's just like, well, you know, what else are we going to do? So I'm going to draw like a handle of something. Don't know what it is. I kind of came across this idea when I was doing the Ghostbuster of, it's just something hanging down, something we don't know what it is. Maybe it's some kind of hammer, you know, something like that, but it's kind of like a cattail, you know, maybe that's what we'll call it. So, you know, maybe some rope, and we'll wrap rope around his leg, like that's where he hides it, you know, or carries it, you know, because that was the whole idea. Is I like that, like with the Ghostbuster pack, I like the idea of extra stuff attached to them, strapped on, you know, just that kind of thing. That's kind of the idea I was going for. So I say we're good with that. I'm going to erase some of these sketch lines. That worked out pretty well, and considering, you know, the details, I can work out with the sketch, or I can work out with the ink. I don't have to sketch those in. I can get us going to the Sharpie portion. That way we'll get to the good stuff, right? It's like get to the best bite, the one in the center. Eat all the crust all the way around and get to the good stuff, right? Okay. This ought to work. Okay, so I say we welcome everybody that skipped and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly a fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched that was very undramatic, wasn't it? I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just dive right in with the Sharpie pen and get some of these fine details in the face, and come back with the Sharpie fine point to get the thick points. So let's just draw some big old goggles, and we'll kind of do them like that, a little cattish, a little, you know, cattish. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. I was trying to think of something better, but considering I have to make up that word, well, let's just stick with it. And I was talking about it in the sketch that I was just going for some kind of, you know, it's a goggle, and or a lot of the weapons, a lot of the tools that it's carrying, a lot of this stuff makes it look very cattish, you know. It's just, he's just a burglar, but that's what ended up happening, is what he's got is making him look like a cat. And it just kind of happens that way, you know? So same thing with the mask. I thought, you know, let's do some kind of, like he's got some kind of breathing mask, because you never know what he's going to get into, and so sometimes you got to have that breathing apparatus stuff. So let's make almost like whiskers, but they could be like, we'll do the old tech look that's got some kind of little breather on it. So a lot of times when I say the tech look, a lot of times when people draw like robots and stuff, they draw like a pipe with a bigger pipe type kind of thing sticking out of it, and it's just it looks cool, you know. Everybody does it, and I'm not knocking it, because I do it too. Obviously I'm doing it right now. But it's almost like the typical, you know, it's like, this is what we're gonna do. But I don't know, like I said, I thought it'd be cool to do something like that, to give it, like, even though they're breathers, that's a whisker, you know. So I just thought it'd be fun to do stuff like this. And give it our own, you know, our own look. For no other reason other than because we can. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have done some kind of nose right there, but that'll work. That'll work like that. Some kind of like long, like snout type kind of thing. But anyway, let's give him the rest of his face. So we're gonna say that's the chin. Gonna work our way up back behind all this stuff now and just draw in the rest of the face. And even though I didn't intend for him to look like a robot, it's kind of what it's looking like with this mask on. So, hey, maybe we'll say this cat burglar is a robot, you know? I think I'm going to switch over and then come back. Because now, all that's necessary is sharp outline, or start stop points, and then I'll come back and add some detail. And I haven't explained the ears yet because, or not that I haven't explained, I haven't decided how to explain the ears. Like, oh, you know what I can do here? This is what I'll do. I'm going to add like this. Like maybe there's some kind of breathing thing, some kind of stuff that's on his head, and some of them look like ears, you know? We'll just say that. We'll say that it's some kind of, you know, special technology that he needs to what's the word I'm looking for? To make sure to detect security. What's the word I'm looking for? Alarms. To detect alarms. His alarm detector is what that is. That's what we'll call it. So there you go. Yeah. That'll give him a cat face unintentionally with his mask. That'll work. I like that. Good thinking. Okay, so now we're just gonna basically add packs and burglar tools, you know? So we're gonna say there's one shoulder, the other one is down a little bit lower like that. So we'll raise this one up. So that means his neck's gonna come in here. We're gonna give him his shoulder like that, and we're gonna try to attach it here without drawing through everything else. Perfect. Okay, so let me draw some packs, and we'll say this is the first one on his shoulder, and I'll add some detail in a second. Do the same thing over here. So I was talking about that. I liked, once I did the Ghostbuster or the Ghost Hunter one, oops, the Ghost Hunter one, I like the packs. I like the idea of extra stuff on him just in case, or, you know, not just in case, but as a tool bag, so to speak, you know? And we'll make them a couple of them different. We'll do something like we'll strap over like this one, like that. You know, it's something a little bit different, so it's not exactly the same all the way down. Okay, and then I'm just going to add like a button there where he closes it, a seam to kind of make it a little more 3D. You know, where it was put together, kind of thing. Something like that. Same thing over here. Let's see. We're gonna close that one off. We'll say something is inside there that's holding it. You know, that's that one. But yeah, I like mixing it up a little bit. You know, saying, okay, well, there's something there, and he's got all his stuff hidden, and it's what he carries to break into places. You know. Okay, so his hands are just going to be up. So I thought maybe we'll do like a shirt type kind of thing. So if this is his shoulder, and I do like a shirt up like this. Here's his sleeve, and then we're going to go with, let's see, I'm going to draw down to his stomach like this, and that way I can kind of add some creases and folds from the sleeve being up. Maybe I shouldn't do too much with the big one. I should do some accents with the small. That way it's not too crazy up in there. Let's do some in his neck too, because we'll say that he's got a collar. It goes through there. I'll try to thicken it up a little bit. Trying to accent it from, or just distinguish it, right? Is that the word I'm looking for? Try to make it distinguished from the face there. We want to do a little bit of making sure that it's different, you know, accenting it. All right, perfect. Okay, so it's still going to be a long sleeve underneath there. So even though his shirt's up like this, I'm going to do another short sleeve. Open a little bit right there. Come down to this elbow. Again, I want it as cloth because I don't want him with a short sleeve. I mean, I want him to be like ready for action, you know, that kind of thing. So just the idea is that it's going to be like a wrinkled cloth, you know. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this arm. And this one, they're both just going to be kind of up like that, kind of like he's about to prowl. He's about to, you know, the whole idea is that since he's about to break into something, he's ready, but he also kind of, because the whole idea is he kind of looks like a cat about to pounce, you know. All right, so I've already sketched it out, so that's why I'm just going to kind of follow my sketch of what I did here and then come back and add some details to explain also why that looks like a nub. So basically, I talked about this before, like when you're drawing, you can see your hand. If I do this, it still looks like a hand, but think about that pinky. That's just a nub of a pinky. You know, if you were just to draw that, that's what it would look like. So we're gonna accent it with a couple of lines just to kind of show that, okay, it's kind of all bent over, you know. So we're gonna basically do like that just to kind of show that it's all hunched over. Now, still, right, it looks like a bunch of lines or like it's a stubby line, but when you look at the overall picture, it starts to make sense and it starts to work together. But you got to like finish the entire thing, because now, you know, it looks more like a hand than it does a nub. But you kind of have to do the entire thing and finish off the big picture to get it to look like that. So see, now it looks like it's a hand, but if you just do that, it looks like a stubby nub. If you were just to look at it like that, it's like, well, he's missing some fingers, you know. But the big picture explains it. All right, so same thing. We're gonna do a shirt sleeve here, hanging down, coming in this way, like that. Okay. Oh, and also let's draw that before I draw through it. I drew a lot of wrinkles there, but you can't really see because of the pack here, so we'll just do something like that just to keep it all the same, you know? We're gonna pretty much do the same thing for the arm over here, so I'm just gonna draw the arm sticking out, and this one's more off to the side than it is. This one's at you, this one's out this way, that kind of thing. So we're getting more length. Okay. And we could have done it exactly the same. There's no problem in doing that, but sometimes it helps to break it up and give yourself some not creativity, but symmetrical is great. Asymmetrical, it makes it interesting, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing with the hand over here. Pretty much, you know, the same idea of you see his wrist, then his glove, then the hand up, and kind of like I said, we're gonna mix it up a little bit, not make it exactly the same. But again, I am kind of following my sketch, so I'm just kind of tracing over or tracing around the drawing, so I can't just kind of, almost like when you draw a turkey, you know, you go around it like that. You know, the turkey drawing like this and you follow your hand. That's what I was doing with my sketch, basically. So again, looks kind of strange until you start adding some extra to make up for it. Oh, I love drawing glove lines too. Oof, so much. Sometimes I do a little bit too much, so I try to dial it back a little bit. Although I never do. I end up just drawing a whole bunch of lines. But what's funny is I was talking about this during the sketch, is that I was trying to figure out what to do for his hands, because I wanted to do like some kind of claws. You know, obviously a cat, old ninja weapons that I was thinking about that I used to see in his magazines, and they were cool stuff and whatnot. But I was talking about that if I do, it's just going to look like a guy with claws. It's not going to look like, I can't draw the explanation of the old ninja weapons when I was a kid, you know. So I just went with, just go with regular stuff, you know. Don't go too crazy, because it's the old joke of, if you have to explain it, it's not working. Or the explanation of a joke, if you have to explain it, it's not working. Okay, so there's his pack waist. And I did these extra little stuff just to do stuff like this, just to kind of break it up into different, like not pockets, but sections, you know, just to kind of make it a little different. What was I just talking about? I don't know. But there you go, just trying to break up the idea, the look of stuff on his belt. And we'll just say that the manufacturer has stuff like this. And don't know why, because it's just stuff that's in there. So, that being said, the top part's done. I'm going to add just some wrinkles and folds into his shirt here. I should probably do it with the smaller one, just to show that it's all bent up and wrinkled. Oh, I know what I was talking about. So I wanted to do that stuff for his gloves, but if I did, it would end up just like looking like a man with claws. It wouldn't look like a guy wearing ninja weapons. You know what I mean? Okay, so same thing here. I'm going to draw like another belt, like just like in Fortnite, where I always have two belts. You know, another belt with like some more pouches and packs and accessories. And we'll say this one kind of goes back here like this, because the whole idea is that, you know, he's got his arsenal that he keeps with him, his weapons, or not so much weapons, but his tools for thievery. Go. I don't know what I'm drawing. I'm just kind of making stuff up. Like, well, if this is a pack and it's going to hold stuff in it, maybe it looks like this, and maybe it goes right here. You know, just the whole. There's stuff in here, that kind of thing. And there's just, it's his belt. There's some texture to it, basically. Something like that. Awesome. So I'm going to stretch his legs out, and I'm going to put rope around this one, because the whole idea, I kind of came up with the idea during the Ghostbuster one, is let's put something hanging behind him that can kind of simulate a tail for a cat, you know. Also, it's got the mysterious, what is that? You know, what does it do? So I'm going to draw his leg like this. I'm going to add bumps like this. Now, the reason I did that is because I decided to put rope around his leg, as in he carries it with him, but not over his back or not on a pack, just around his leg, and that is a good place to carry it, basically is what it, well, it may not be a good place, that's where he chose to carry it, is what I'm trying to say. It may be a bad idea. Let's give him some kind of knee pads. You know, he's breaking into places, he's got to protect his knees. Something like this. Let's add detail now. I was going to say I'll add some detail later, but let's do it now. Why not, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just adding some kind of, well, let's say maybe it's got this, you know, just a little bit of some kind of detail. Just getting creative, basically. Okay, so to the bottom of his leg is going to come down to about right there, and then I'm going to draw the same thing though. And I probably should have counted how many I did, but I'm not worried about it. Draw his leg to his crotch right there. Let's see if I can do it with the small Sharpie. I may have to come back and do it with the big one, because this is too small. let's try it with the big one. Let's see if that'll work. Oof, look, I'm all over the place. All right, let's see if I can just attach them somehow. There you go, and it doesn't have to be exact. We're just gonna say it's just rope. There you go. Like that. So he just wrapped around his leg, and that's how he carries rope. I was trying to pull the back end off. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just say that, and then we'll just say there's a piece hanging down like this, and that's where it's tied around his leg. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so that means I've got him super stretched out, so that means I'm going to put his crotch right around here. Let's see, his leg's going to come through here. Put his crotch through here and stretch out the material. Okay, because usually when your legs are bent like this, you really put a lot of stress on the cloth here and really stretch out the seams. So I like to add a lot of stress whenever there is stress, you know, kind of showing that it's all bunched up. And it doesn't have to be exact. Just stretched out material is all we're going for. Okay? Awesome. All right, so let's draw this leg here, just a regular leg, not rope or anything like that, because the big idea, there's a better word I'm trying to come up with, but I'm just going to keep going. The big showstopper is going to be the tool behind him. We don't know what it is yet, though, so I'm going to draw his leg down here like this for the knee pad. Let's go ahead and draw that knee pad. Let's try to do it like the other one. So, if I designed it like that, let's see, I'm going to design the front of it like it's more down, like this. There we go. Let's do those little indentions that we did. There, something like that. See? Awesome. Okay, and again, gonna add some more of those lines just to show the stress. And so now I'm gonna say that this thing, the tail-like thing, and that was the idea too, that whatever this is kind of the whole idea of it's the tail, you know, it's some kind of tool, some kind of burglar's tool that maybe we don't understand, that's hanging down here. We're going to say I had it over here, but now I'm going to do it like this because of the angle I put it at. And so I'm just going to do it something like this, so it's kind of like a tail of something, and that's kind of in a silhouette that would look like a cat tail, you know. That's what we're going for. So don't know what this is, don't know what this does, but again, it's some kind of burglar cat tool, we'll say, that we don't understand, but he does. All right, awesome. And see, that's the mystery, the intrigue of, ooh, what is that? You know, that's kind of that idea. All right, so now we're just going to draw his pants down like this. We got him tucked in. We're going to say he's got him wrapped around to make sure nothing comes loose. Like he's got it like almost like taped, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Then I'm going to draw boots, and here we'll do some kind of claws. We'll do like he's got some kind of cat claw attachment that helps him climb. Okay. We're going to do his toe up like this because you'll see what I'm doing here. I'll add detail here in a second. I'll show you here first. Going to come in here, going to wrap it around. Something like that. Down here to his heel. Then bent like this. The toe is bent. That's the idea. That's what we're doing there. Okay. I'm going to bend it in, and then I'm going to add some kind of claw. And then we're going to add some detail. So bent toe, that's kind of the idea we're going for here. Okay, I know it looks like an actual real like animal foot, but let's add some kind of mech attachments to make it look work. Okay, so again, some cloth just to kind of show that it's his pants all taped up, all wrapped up, so it doesn't get caught. You know, he doesn't want anybody catching on to him, so he's keeping himself all completely contained there. So we're gonna do some kind of something over, and then we're gonna do like a attachment type kind of thing. Like, we're gonna make it like if it's something he attached to his foot, as opposed to having a cat foot, you know? So we're gonna say the same thing here. Some kind of attachment, you know, that's got kind of a pointed claw on it for a heel. Then we're gonna say it's got not lace protectors, but some kind of thing going across like this. And then we're gonna do the same thing there. We're gonna do the attachment. And again, I was going for some kind of mech look, you know, some kind of it's attached. And here we'll give it a 3D quality, like it's raised, you know, it's not just drawn on like I'm doing right here. It's got some kind of raised quality to it. So there you go. It's like some kind of strange cyber tech. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Cyber tech. So that's his you know how every time someone breaks into something and whatnot, it's got, you know, all this weird cyber technology stuff. That's what that is. That's what those are. His cyber tech boots. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So for Sunday Funday, that is a cat burglar. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.